Okay, we're doing exercise 11.6 examples. Okay. Let's just look at question 1. Say question 1. Question 1I. Okay, we have to complete the square on this equation. So write the following equation in the form x minus h squared equals plus or minus 4ay minus k. Now, it's got the plus or minus because it's either going to be plus or it's going to be minus, depending on the type of parabola that you've been given. Okay? So, the first question is we have to write this equation, x squared plus 2x minus 8y minus 7 equals 0, in the form of that equation up there. Now, that equation up there is it's like the x squared equals 4ay type, if it's the positive one, upward type, or the x squared is minus 4ay downward type, but the vertex is shifted. See, if you look at the bare bones of it, it's x squared equals either positive 4ay or x squared equals negative 4ay. The h and the k just mean that the vertex is not at 0, 0. Okay? So, can you see, basically you need to complete the square on what? The x. So let's take everything else to the other side. So we've got x squared plus 2x equals 8y plus 7. Because everything else with y and constants is over this side. All right? Now, how do I complete the square on the x squared plus 2x? X squared plus 2x plus half the b. Half of 2 is 1, so plus 1 squared is equal to 8y plus 7 plus 1. Now, this is looking nice. So what does the left-hand side become? X plus 1 squared equals 8y plus 8. Now, we want that really as x minus negative 1 squared. Are we okay with that? Oh, look, so it's x minus negative 1 squared. I mean, you can leave it as the x plus 1 squared. But when you write it as x minus negative 1 squared, you can actually see the coordinates of the vertex a lot clearer. What do you think I should do up here to get it in this format? Factorize it. 8 bracket y plus 1, which is really x minus negative 1 squared equals 8 bracket y minus negative 1. You can leave it, look, girls, you can leave it like this. You can really leave it like this. X plus 1 squared is 8 y plus 1. You can leave it like that. Why do you think I'm writing it like this? No, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, it's to match the equation why I'm putting the minus negative 1 because, all right, you might do it like this, okay? A lot of you will do it like that. But when you're matching the equation, you will say, right, how would you sketch this? It is basically the x squared is positive 4ay type, isn't it? X squared is the 4ay type. If you compare it to that, what do you think 4a is equal to in your equation? 4a is 8. Can you see that? That the 4a is 8. So therefore the a is 2. So describe this parabola. What's its vertex? It's not 0, 0. See, I've written it's minus 1, minus 1. Is it, what type is it? Is it concave up? If you had to compare it, yeah, if you got rid of the plus 1 and the plus 1 here, do you know what I mean? Because that just means it's shifted. It is the x squared is 4ay type, but it's shifted. Does that make sense? So it's still concave up. Girls, I wouldn't mind if you put in the, when x is 0, can you work out what y is, by the way? When x is 0, I don't think it matters anyway, but when x is 0, so it's slightly just above there. On negative 8, so it's under the line, like that. Okay, so the vertex is negative 1, negative 1. That's what the parabola looks like. Okay? So let's describe this parabola. It's concave up. Okay, so the parabola is, we're just going to do a little bit more here. So the parabola is...
So it's still Yeah, I mean, to do it the way it is
Yes, you could have done it like that, as long as when you write the equation of the vertex that you know that it's -1, -1. This is fine. You don't have to do it like that. Does that make sense? You can do it like this, but then I've written it like that. You might want to look, keep this still as a plus here, but then on the very last line, make it minus. All right? So the only reason you do it like that is so that you can read the equations. You can read the vertex. Now, can you tell me, because it's actually in question 5, we may as well do it all now in this example. So parabola's concave up, the vertex of the parabola is -1, -1, the focal length is 2. Can I have the focus, please? If the focal length is 2, isn't it 2 units up from there? So give me the coordinates of the focus. Sorry? No?
-1 and -2.
Yeah, because it's 2 units up from here. So the y value will be 1 and the x value is -1. All right, I'll draw it bigger because I think you can't see it properly. Now, the vertex is -1, -1 and it's concave up. Okay? I need another colour. I've got. Now, because the focal length is 2, then we go up 2 units to the focus. You know how from the vertex you go up so many units for the focus, and then you go down so many units for the directrix? So so this point down here's got a y value of -1, up here you've got a y value of +1. So it's the point -1, 1. So the focus is the point -1, 1. Does that make sense, girls?
Yeah.
You've just got to count up 2 units from there. And the directrix, I mean, the vertex has a y value of -1. Go down 2 units. And what have you got down here? So the directrix is, yeah, so the focus is -1, 1. And the directrix is y equals -3. Okay? Because you compare, so when we get to this equation up here, you compare it with x minus h squared equals 4a y minus k. So going back up there where I am now, can you see there now that the 4a equals 8? Yes? All right, so I should have written that underneath, okay? So under that, I should write x minus h squared equals 4a y minus k. Yeah? All right, I'm going to do, I know I'm doing extra than what these are saying, but it ends up doing everything that you need for all the other questions, all right? So I'm not just writing them in that form. I'm then finding the vertex, the focal length, the focus, and the directrix, because that's what they're going to ask you with any of these questions, okay? All right, we're going to do another one. We're going to do the 4 types, one of each type, okay? That's pretty much what they ask you on these. All right, ask the question, Tara. Question 1F, we're just going to do a bit more than what it says there. We're going to complete the square on this equation, and then we're also going to find the focus, the vertex, the focal length, and the equation of the directrix. So we're finding out everything about the parabola. So we've got x squared plus 14x equals what? Minus 16y minus 1. Then we complete the square on the x squared and the x term, because we're going to complete the square so that it looks like this. X minus h squared is going to either be positive or negative 4a y minus k. We'll get one of those. Now, can you tell which type we're going to get already? Yep. There's a negative in front of the y, so you're going to get the negative type. So how do I complete the square here? What do I add? 7 squared. So is minus 16y minus 1. So we're adding 7 squared to both sides, which is 49. So then this becomes what? X plus 7 squared equals minus 16y plus 48. Now, x plus 7 squared is minus 16. Factorise, and what do you get? Be very careful. Y minus 3. So write the type underneath it. So this is of the type. X minus h squared equals negative 4a. Do you see why it's the negative type? Y minus k. So therefore, this is a parabola with you can see the vertex straight away because the vertex is HK. What's the vertex? Vertex? Anyone? Well, yes, because that's x minus -7 squared, because you want it in the form x minus. So vertex is -7 and 3. Got that? All right. What's the focal length? What matches what? We know that 4a is 16. No, there's no negatives. The negative matches the negative. 4a matches the 16. 4a equals 16, so therefore the focal length is 4. Yes, makes sense, doesn't it? Focal length always has to be positive, girls. It's a length, focal length. No negative lengths allowed. I don't know how many times we have to say it. Okay, so A is 4, and now you sketch to find the rest. I can't work it out without sketching, all right? So tell me, is it having a look at the bare bones of it, it's the x squared is minus 4ay type. Does that make sense? Can you see that? Is it the y squared type or the x squared type? No, it's x squared is minus 4ay type, but the vertex is not 0, 0. So it's definitely concave down. Yes or no, girls? Yes. All right, what's the vertex? -7, +3. It's concave down. And so this is the point -7, +3. So all you've got to do is count A units up and A units down to get your focus and your directrix. Well, if this is -7 and go up 3, let's do the directrix first. How much further do I go up for directrix? 4. Another 4 up gives me the y equals what? 7. Yeah, because this is the point -7, 3. So go up another 4 units and we've got y equals 7. Go down 4 units. See, I would put the x and the y values on the axis to help you. Go down 4 units from 3, and what do you get? -1. So therefore the focus is -7 across, -1 down. So girls, all those other formulas we looked at yesterday, don't even bother learning them. All you've got to know is the 4 types. Is it up? All you've got to know is it up? Is it down? Or is it sideways to the right? Sideways to the left? That's all you've got to know. And you know that from the basic equation. So therefore, what have we got? Directrix is y equals 7, and the focus is -7, -1. So you've answered everything on that. All right, we're going to do another type. We ready? Do you think you're getting the hang of it, girls? All right, let's do question. I might go to the next page. Are we finished on there or not? All right, question 2. You're going to complete the square and then write down everything else. Complete the square and describe the parabola. Let's do y squared. Question 2C. Y squared plus 4y minus 12x minus 8 equals 0. Okay, what types? All right, let's have a look. What are you going to complete the square on, the x or the y's? Y. Because you always complete the square on a squared. You always complete the square when you've got the squared term and the normal term. On the y squared and the y this time, what do we do with these minus 12x and minus 8? Move them over. Now we complete the square there. We get y squared plus 4y plus y squared plus 4y plus 2 squared equals 12x plus 8 plus 2 squared. So what do we get? Y plus 2 all squared, so we've completed the square there, equals 12x plus 8 plus 4 is 12. So we factorise the, you've got to remember to factorise out the 12 and you get x plus 1. So this is of the type, be careful, it's not y minus h, because look over here, x, y in the alphabet, h, k in the alphabet, in order. Does that make sense? So you don't write it's of the type y minus h squared is x minus k. The y goes with the k. So it's of the format. Please be careful because you're going to get the vertex wrong otherwise. So over here, x, y, h, k in alphabetical order, right? Equals, what do I write here? 4a x minus h. So therefore, what is the vertex? Please be careful. It's the x value first and then the y one. So it's minus 1 because that is really, do you want me to write it as minus minus here? So we've got y minus minus 2 squared equals 12 bracket x minus negative 1. Sorry, y minus negative 2 squared. So therefore the vertex, please do the x value first. And how many people will put negative 2, negative 1? Really simple to do because you're just reading it in order. But with these sideways shifted ones, we need the x value first because it's a coordinate. Always the x value first and the y. So the vertex is actually negative 1, negative 2. Let's look at the focal length. We know that 4a equals, 4a is 12, so a is 3. So we've already got the focal length and the vertex. All right, what type is it basically? Isn't it the y squared is 4ax type that is shifted? So it's sideways, which way? To the right or the left? Yeah. Yep, so negative 1, negative 2, and it looks like this way. That's the point negative 1, negative 2. Now, the focus is 3 units. So here's my vertex. Where do I go? 3 units where? 3 units to the right, 3 units to the left. I've just done that the wrong way. 3 units to the left, 3 units to the right. So just be careful. This is the point negative 1 and down negative 2. So where do I go if I go 3 units that way? To which point? To positive 2, yep, and jump 3 units back this way. Good. So the directrix is there and the focus is there. So what are the coordinates of the focus? 2 and minus 2. And the equation of the directrix is? 4. Very good. All right, the last type will do. So therefore the focus is 2, negative 2, and the directrix is x equals negative 4. Do we have that all down, girls? All right, for those that want to start the next one, I'll be doing question 2. Let's do question 2. I want to do 2j because it's a little bit different. Y squared plus 8y plus 8x equals 0. Y squared plus 8y plus 8x equals 0. All right, I'll write it now. Wait. I've got it up there. So the next question, so we're going to do question 2j, basically complete the square and describe the parabola. Oh, I'll just write the thing down. Y squared plus 8y plus 8x equals 0. All right, you know what to do? What do you do? Yeah, what do you take over? Then you complete the square on this. You halve the term in front of the y. Okay? We good?
Yeah.
Try and do it on your own. Be careful. Try and do it on your own. Anyone want to call something out? All right. I'll just pause the video while you're doing it on your own. Keep going with this. Be careful when you factorise it that you put a negative there because it's negative 8x plus 16. So we've got the type there. You can compare it with the general form. So you're going to compare it with the y minus k squared equals negative 4ax minus h type. Again, X comes before Y in the alphabet. H comes before K. So we've got vertex. X value first and then Y. 2, negative 4. Turns to the, let's look at the 4A equals 8. So the focal length is 2. All right, which way does it turn? Turns to the left. The vertex is 2 across negative 4. Turns to the left. So we've got 2, negative 4. So 2 across, negative 4 down. So how many units do you want to go each way? 2 units that way, 2 units this way. So what's the focus?
0, negative 4.
Good. So the focus is 0, negative 4. And the directrix is?
X.
Good. This is 4. X is 4. Okay, girls. So notice you don't need, all you need is to know the basic types. And that focus is focal length. From the vertex, you go 2 units either way. Okay, I mean, you know what I mean, 8 units either way. And just count. You don't need to learn all those formulas that we looked at yesterday. All right, question 3, it says find the equation of the parabola. So find the equation of the parabola. And they might just give you with focus, negative 1, 3, directrix. Again, if you sketch, you have no problems. And directrix, y equals negative 1. So I don't even know what type this is because I haven't sketched it. But once I sketch it, it'll be very clear to me which of the 4 types it is, or 8 types. Well, you know, one of the 4 basic types. So you need to sketch. Once you've done that, it's very clear. Okay, what have we got? Focus, negative 1, 3 units up. Directrix is y equals negative 1, which is down here. Now this is going to tell you a lot of information. It tells you which way so this is what we've got. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. I know. Sorry? Oh, all right, don't worry about that. All right, I thought you said it's recording. Okay, sorry girls. So this question here, find the equation of the parabola with focus, negative 1, 3, directrix y equals negative 1. Be careful. Where's the vertex? That's not the vertex, that's the focus. So you've got to find the vertex. Where is it? Look back at what you've been doing. It's halfway between them. So, do you get that? Because that's the focus. This is 3 units. This is at negative 1. So at 1 unit, this is the vertex. Which way does the parabola turn? Into the directrix or away from it? Remember, we've got that smiley face we've got the face with the nose. This is the parabola. So what's the vertex? Yeah, it's negative 1 and that's 1. So the vertex is negative 1, 1. You okay with that, girls?
I don't get how you found the vertex.
The vertex is always halfway between the focus. Look, up here.
Yeah, did you use the Y or X?
Size 11.6. Oh, that tells you the focal length. They tell you the focal length. All right, do another one from question 3. Can you do 3D and do 3L and 3, so L's got a negative, and 3P. So they're all the different types from that exercise. Exactly the same as what we did, girls. Sketching will help you. Then you can do question. Do question 7. Be careful. Try question 9, 11, Try 14. 16. All right. We've done those types. We've done that type. All right. Tomorrow we'll. Oh no, 21, 22 to the end. 21 to 25. 21 to 25. All right, we need to look at those parabolic satellite dishes. Look, just do those. It doesn't look too bad.